Pimento University. Pimento U. Good old P.U.
Happy 4th of July, everyone. Wait. Happy New Year's, everyone. A new year means new changes. So with that said, I will be quickly breaking down all the recent tier shifts from OU to PU. Some of them will be more in-depth than others, cause I don't really play PU. I'm not gonna stall this any further, so let's get into the video.
I killed a man with this.
This one is pretty easy to explain and long overdue. Turns out Parting Shot is very broken.
What? You didn't even have the All Might!
Pecharunt fulfills a ton of roles for offense and balanced teams alike. Its absurd physical bulk and typing makes it a strong check to Zamazenta, Dragonite, Ogerpon Wellspring, etc. It has fantastic synergy with Hisuian and Samurott. Pecharunt can block Rapid Spin, keeping Samurott spikes up. Pecharunt can also bring Samurott in via Parting Shot on switch-ins like King Gambit and Slowking Galar, cycling constant pressure on the opponent. Being a poison type, it can also absorb toxic spikes, which is invaluable on offense and surprisingly rare outside of these mons, along with some niche options. This might not be much, but there's no more embarrassing feeling than knowing your team gets 6-0'd by Glamora offense. Plus, you can never go wrong with having a Fairy Resist. I actually don't know. I'm gonna be honest, I've been so focused on school and other stuff that I haven't been active in the OU community lately. My guess is that Stall got more popular on ladder. Needing a more concrete answer, I asked about Blissey's rise in usage and got this as a response. You know what, I'll take it, but I got something more elaborate. Top OU player Super G Money made a popular Stall RMT that peaked at the top of the ladder, which uses Bronzong. And guess what the most common mon you'll find on Stall is? Caso Cerrado!
Caso Cerrado!
I already talked about Araquanid's rise in usage in this video, but TLDR, Araquanid's combination of bulk and raw damage output gives it a much better matchup spread against the rest of the meta compared to Rabombi, and allows webs as a playstyle to be more dynamic in its game plan. Sorry Ironmoth users, but it looks like you can't 6-0 webs anymore. You're gonna have to play the game like the rest of us. The future is now, old man, moth.
Fastest man alive.
Which might explain why you can't get a date.
Yeah.
Despite its impressive speed tier and expansive move pool, Deoxys-Speed has a hard time being justified on a lot of OU builds. Hisuian and Samurott functions as a better hazard lead and also 1v1s it a majority of the time. All-out attacking sets face competition from other fast attackers like Dragapult and Iron Valiant. Psychic is a bad offensive typing and it can dud to the common physically defensive Gholdengo. The increased usage of Lokex and Tingaton also doesn't do it any favors. It's still good, but between heavy competition for its niche and an increase in its checks, there's a reason it dropped to UU.
Monkey?
Zarude being UU is long overdue. The ban to Okidoki and Zapdos rising to OU did wonders for Zarude's viability in UU, making its SD sets more threatening and making Scarf sets more spammable. Before Hoopa and Bound was banned, having a strong Dark Resist was very important, cause otherwise your team was cooked versus Scarf Terra Dark Hoopa. Scarf Zarude ate 2 Terra Dark Hyperspace Furies at full, and had a ton of ways to threaten back. Even with its departure, Zarude is still valuable for speed control with its Choice Scarf set, as it can revenge kill the likes of Greninja, Latios, Ogerpon Cornerstone, and +1 Quaquaval. Its typing is also strong into Sand, which has gotten more popular as a response to offensive teams.
Rook freak crazy ass. The fire.
I'm clumping all of these together for one reason: offense. Offense is very dominant in UU, and these 4 have established themselves as staples, along with other HO monsters like Quaquaval. Poltegeist in particular has been stirring controversy in the tier with its Terra Blast and Strength Sap variants, letting it cheese through its counterplay, with some UU players calling for a suspect test. Hawlucha is prominent on Psy Spam, and its dual bug resistance makes it great into teams that rely on Lokex for revenge killing offensive threats. Reverum also has this trait, and can find opportunities to sweep with an air balloon plus its defensive profile. Mew has been a premier hazard lead on offense for a long time. The usage statistics are just a better reflection of this fact. But it'd be a real shame if another psychic type with access to spikes and stealth rock dropped to UU. It truly would be.
Michael, what's in that fucking spinach? I mean, I can't tell the words you're saying anymore.
A little bit of mercury.
Conkeldurr faced competition from Okidoki as a fighting type and Ursaluna as a gut/bulk-up wall breaker. With both of those gone, plus Zapdos, Conkeldurr is able to find its footing as a nuke that doubles as a homing missile into Yuu's roster of fighting weak offensive threats with Mach Punch. Pecharunt's departure has only made things better for Popeye the Construction Clown. Bro, it's so wild that Popeye is public domain now. Which gets Respucia to interrogate him. With Mamoswine's drop in usage is multifaceted and is difficult to explain. It's Weavile. It's much faster and has stab knockoff. Mamoswine does have stab Earthquake to smack Heatran, Cobalion, and Tinkaton, but the UU player base found Weavile's speed more valuable in an offensive meta. Suicune Rising seems confusing since Volcanion is one of the biggest mons in the tier, but its iconic Calm Mind set has been performing well, abusing the tier's more passive defensive staples like Umbreon, Slowbro, and Registeel. Alternatively, it can run a more offensive set with Bolt Beam coverage thanks to Terra Electric Blast to snipe Volcanion and immediately threaten the likes of Noivern, Cyclizar, and again, Slowbro. Despite dropping to NU, Amoonguss is still seen as good. It's just that its passivity to certain threats and competition from the likes of Pheasantipede, Galarian Weezing, and even the PU graduate Wu-Chan makes it hard to easily slap this fun guy onto builds. Even with good abusers like Slitherwing and Armarouge, Sun is considered mediocre in RU, so Torkoal dropped.
It's got Hippo on this team. Hippo, I hate the Hippo. I hate him. I hate you. I hate you.
I'm Mr. White Christmas. I'm high on crack.
Light Clay is banned in the lower tiers, so Veil is not as good as it is in OU. It's decent with Nasty Plot and 2 strong stab options along with Encore or Terror Blast, but its poor offenses means it's not an instant pick on teams. And this is the segment where I talk about Fortress dropping to NU. If it actually fucking dropped! Raikou rose because it's a strong win con with Calm Mind and Electric Water coverage. That is what you're thinking, right? Well, guess what? I don't know! Did you really come to this channel expecting me to have the answers to all of life's queries, such as why Raikou rose in a tier with Flygon as its king, and where its main competition Kilowattrel exists?
Besties, assemble! Hurry up! Ready.
Without Talonflame to punish dual Wing Beat, Scyther has found itself to be a scary wallbreaker/sweeper thanks to having a multi-hit Brave Bird but with no recoil, and great coverage. It is most common on the predominant hazardless HO structures due to its fantastic synergy with Chinchino. Whoa, there's geese outside. I better look at the window. Scyther can crack open the steel types that wall Chinchino with close combat, and in return, Chinchino removes rocks off the field, allowing Scyther to run Eviolite. This makes Scyther surprisingly bulky, letting it find opportunities to get off a boost versus the likes of Choice Locked Flygon, Vileplume, Toxicroak, etc.
I would win.
To outsiders, Decidueye Rising seems odd when you consider that Incineroar dominates the tier, and yet it still prevails. Decidueye's offensive and defensive typing is great for pressuring defensive teams while finding opportunities to come in versus Bronzong, Bulky Waters, and Water Tauros. Even in front of its checks, Decidueye can continue asserting pressure with strong Choice Band boosted U-turns. Outside of its Choice Band and Sword Sand sets, Defog has popped up in a few instances. Talonflame's absence meant hazard control options in NU are even more limited than before. Being able to remove hazards, check Water Tauros, and provide some utility with Knock or U-turn is worth noting. It's honestly cool that Decidueye still has an NU niche to this day, because it's one of my favorite mons from Gen 7. Gastrodon is a great blanket check to a large list of threats, ranging from Toxtricity, Kilowattrel, Basculegion, Glowbro, etc. while being able to shut out hazards. Storm Drain allows the bulkier teams Gastrodon fits on to pivot around rain threats in Water Tauros, or even outright wall it with Terra Ghost. I could not tell you how or why this rose. It's Monkey Dory but with better bulk, and it can switch into Chandelore's Shadow Ball. Meloetta also has Terra Blast for stabs, so it doesn't become a useless move slot when it's used without Terra. That's cool, I guess.
Go crazy?
Don't mind if I do!
Here's the reason Tornadus rose to NU. Let's move on.
Let me smash. Please.
No.
Torterra is still solid on HO and NU, but Torterra's low speed tier makes it an inconsistent sweeper with how common Scarfers like Monkey Dory and Mienshao are. It also has a notable 4th moveslot syndrome, needing Crunch or Terra Blast to break through Bronzong, Rock Blast to hit flying types like Kilowattrel and Scyther, or Terra Blast to hit grass types such as Burloam and Bramblegast.
Let me smash. Please.
Out and away the most popular fellows at,
Turkey ass.
Galarian Articuno, or Guno for short, rose for being a dangerous win con that exploits bulkier teams with Calm Mind in conjunction with Terra and its great stats for PU standards. It also checks the rising PU star Hisui and Decidueye thanks to its dual resistance to triple arrows.
On all levels except physical, I am
Fox!
It initially dropped due to competition from Salazzle and Meloetta, but has regained its footing. Fire Psychic Stab and Grass Knot threatens a large portion of the tier. It also has defensive merit, being a check to bulk up Fire Breed Tauros and Florges while packing utility options in Encore and Will-O-Wisp.
But you know what I like a lot more than materialistic things? Knowledge.
Uxie is similar to Guno. It rose for being a bulky ground immune psychic type that can abuse fatter teams with Nasty Plot or Calm Mind. It also packs Encore to enable more setup opportunities and punish opposing bulky setup. Uxie is shown to be a good option for Stealth Rock, due to its wide range of utility and being able to switch into fighting types in a tier lacking strong resistances to them.
This is my pet duck Adam going for his first swim. Be careful, Adam. Adam!
A while back during PUBL, a major tournament dedicated to playing in each generation of PU, top PU player, okay, sorry if I butchered this, but Q's brought a Cramorant team to the tour, and it was a sight to behold. It didn't win the game unfortunately, but it demonstrated Cramorant's ability to force chip damage and possibly spread paralysis thanks to this goofy-ass ability. It's also valuable as a defogger and a check to Fire Breed Tauros due to its water flying typing. The rising PU star Hisui and Decidueye is gonna shoot the Prime Minister at the stage! Oh no! Anyways, due to most of PU's fighting resists being physically fragile, Scarf, Hisui, and Decidueye has found itself to be a scary late game cleaner. Triple Arrows is a dangerous move to switch into due to having more side effects than prescribed painkillers, even more so with Terra. Hisui and Decidueye's grass fighting typing gives it opportunities to start clicking buttons. Frosmoth rose because of how threatening of a sweeper it is with Ice Beam plus Terra Blast Ground. PU also has several special attackers and offensive mods it can use as setup fodder thanks to Ice Scales.
Duke, do you want the ball?
This one's self-explanatory. It's the fastest spawn with Stealth Rock plus Taunt. PU is empty when it comes to hazard leads. Do the math.
My name is
Rhydon. With a slightly less power-crept PU, Bronzong's departure, and Toxtricity's presence in the tier, Rhydon slowly rose into a PU staple. Rhydon will either set up rocks or clean up games with Double Dance plus Terra, along with its incredible Edgequake stabs. Outside of checking Toxtricity, it also performs well as a check to Bombardier, Skuntank, and Rotom Heat. Doesn't like Hisui and Decidueye, but it can Terra Poison past that matchup, so it's all good.
3, 2, 1! Tear him up, Draco! Go, Pegasus! I believe in you!
Lowlighter finally got bored of Hitmontop and put it out of its misery. Thank God. Despite all the promising toys it has to play with, Hitmontop is outclassed by the top fighting types and hazard removal options in PU. If we can do the same for Fortress, that'd be great. Rotom Mo overlaps with Rotom Heat, who is considered the better Rotom appliance in PU and coincidentally checks Mo. Not to mention it's also checked and outclassed by Toxtricity. That doesn't mean it's all Mo-over for it. Rotom Mo still has better matchups into stuff like Rhydon and Gastrodon, which check the aforementioned two electric types nicely.
Hey, wait a minute.
And those are all the tier shifts. But before I wrap it up, I want to quickly highlight something. About a week ago, or whenever I finished this, I uploaded this video where I reviewed a bunch of movies I watched from 2024. If you haven't watched it yet, I don't blame you. Most people don't have 2 hours to kill, but if you guys are interested in me talking about film and television alongside the competitive Pokemon stuff, let me know in the comments. Also, let me know if you want me to upload the reviews individually, so you guys don't have to wait 2 hours to hear my thoughts on Good Burger. That's all I got. What are your thoughts? Are you excited about the meta changes? Or are you disappointed that Metagross hasn't dropped out of Yu-Gi yet? Thank you for watching, and remember, the only thing that can match Swifty's obsession over Taylor Swift is the RU Ladder's obsession over bad Pokemon.